Hey guys, Monkey2 here of course. Today we'll be featuring a Khabaovsk game played by yours truly. We're also in division with Salisto in his Alaska and Rosh 87 in his Conqua. Really the start of the show here is just the pure joy of the Khabaovsk build that I've got on. Maybe notice in top left of the screen, detection 8.1. Not ideal for a destroyer, but this is the Mighty Khabaovsk, which is a very fun build. I have a specified build for it, and it's in a video that I'll link on the top right of the screen, where I recommend you check that out, because it's definitely worth checking out if you're interested in getting a game similar to this in terms of playstyle. So, as I said, my Khabaovsk build, not exactly the norm. 8.1 detection means that you're not going to contest caps or the destroyers. Your main goal with this build is simply to do damage and spot by being the target for your enemy team to shoot at. So you're basically playing for attracting damage and dishing it out while actively spotting for your team as a destroyer, because destroyers' main goals are cap objectives and spot for your team. The Khabba with this build can't really cap objectives, though it's still stealthier than any cruiser in the game. So if you're a cruiser-less DD-less game, you can camp objectives. But your main goal in the Khabaovsk is damage and passively spot. And if someone else is spotting for you, great. Passively absolute wreck people, especially with AP. As you can see with the Zuzuya, we're not citadeling him, but we are messing him up. Unfortunately, the Iowa Dev strikes him, which is good for our team, but I was hoping to get some more damage out of the guy. But regardless, we're actually going to cap here, as shown here. We're using the island for concealment, so even if we have really bad detection, line of sight issues prevent us from being spotted, which means we can actually shell these targets without actually being spotted. I said actually like 5 times there, just want to note that. Anyway, we're gonna shell some conquerors. Fires is always nice, make some burn damage control, maybe proc to heal, tons of options. Always good to shoot targets when there's no risk at all. Shatters are fine with the HE because we have the fire chance, as you can see. So, cap this objective, beautiful. We need to move on swiftly. We're not going to go to the A cap because A cap is out of the way. It's going to take us a long time to get there, even with the fast Khabaovsk, and it looks like our division mate in the Alaska can actually cap A without many problems at all. If in fact he probably could stealth cap that if he doesn't shoot at all. I wonder what he does. I don't actually know. We can shell this Conqueror though, and there's no risk to our ship, and there's no harm in it, so let's just shell him, make sure that he is definitely burning, maybe proc one of his super heals. Damage is damage. You definitely want to take advantage of these, especially early game in a Khabaovsk with this build. You can kite and you can dodge shells like nobody's business and do all that, but if you don't need to do it, there's no reason to put yourself in that position. If I can farm the Stirpits for the whole game, and it's just the whole enemy team this way, then yeah, great. It means my team are doing well, they're tanking, they're doing their job, I can do my damage, and yeah, I can late game, I have more health to be aggressive and be I can do plenty of stuff. So conserving your health, even in a kiting build that I've kind of built for kiting, is still very viable, and it's definitely worth trying out. You need to, take advantage of your good positioning, because this at the minute is just straight good positioning. The fact that you can shell targets without even being spotted, nor even being seen. Now, some of you may notice there is a Shimakaze, or I think that's another Khabba. I'm not 100% sure. It's a Khabba, there we go. So we're going to fire some torps just in case he speeds forward. We're going to keep one in reserve. You never know. Turpits looks like he is definitely pushing, so we're just going to get the right shot on the Turpits, and we're going to get some hits in. Khabba torpedoes are incredibly stealthy, and as we know, neither the Khabba nor the Turpits has sonar. So we're going to send a bit preemptively, but it's definitely sending them now. I don't want to hang around too long. There is an Alaska popping up, and he is literally 3 kilometers. If he pops his radar, this could be a risky situation for me. There's also a Khabaovsk behind us. So in terms of positioning, we are not ideal, but we're not detected. And at the minute, we're just in the Hornet's nest, but we're not actually being spotted yet. So we actually torpedo the Turpits with 2 torpedoes. Khabba torpedoes hit like a truck. If we also pay attention to our minimap, we notice that our friendly Alaska has been burnt down by, looks like a Conqueror maybe. Unfortunately, I think he was shooting at the time and a little bit too aggressive a play trying to get that A cap early on. Again, I did mention to him that I wasn't going for that cap, but whatever. It's you know, things happen. People potato. Things like that happen all the time. Anyway, not the point. I'm only doing all because Callisto. We got to trash talk Callisto at least once every video. So what we're doing right here is we're waiting for a cooldown for torpedoes. We have a friendly allied ship who's capturing A and who is definitely line of sight to get some work done on this Khabaovsk should he show himself. And the torpedoes are very good deterrent for something like the Alaska on the other side. So in the minute we're just holding here. This may seem like a waste of time, but it's really not. We're preventing the B cap from being attacked or contested by the Khabaovsk as well as the Alaska. So at this point, our torpedoes are reloaded and the Khabaovsk is starting to push, and this is our moment here. So we're going to turn our guns on the right hand side, hopefully. Sooner or later we'll do that, get that job done. I know, do I feel turn? Yeah, we're going to turn. Yeah, so we got that. Make sure we don't beat yourselves too much. Nothing happened here. Completely intentional. We're going to bait the Khabaovsk out as much as possible. We want to bait him towards that Conqueror. We're going to lose some torps, make sure it's very difficult for him to maneuver. We're going to angle heavily, or try as much as we can so we don't get that AP smacking that he's been giving us. We switched AP ourselves because he's giving us a flat broadside. And one of those torpedoes hit home and he's out of there. Alaska pops his radar, but he can't actually shoot me, so it's kind of irrelevant. There's no one else that can shoot me, and at this point I feel pretty comfortable I could gun down the Alaska. So we're defending the B cap and we're just preventing the enemy from getting any real ground. They're kind of faffing about on the C cap and our team are doing a really good job holding them. So we're doing what we can, and we're even capturing the C cap. They're just not doing well. Realistically, we've already won this game pretty much. You know, we've got 2 caps, we've got 300 point lead, and we're up on ships as well. So it's a pretty rough situation for the enemy team. But as you can see, just holding that this pass in between the B and C, those 2 mountain passes, can be quite strong because it prevents a lot of plays from happening. If we weren't there, the Khabaovsk could have potentially sunk our division mate. You could have captured B cap and pulled this game back. But unfortunately for him, we were there waiting for him. We had our torpedoes reloaded, and not even that. Even if we didn't sink him with torpedoes, we had a fellow Conqueror who was very close by, who was not spotted. Now, we actually get within guaranteed detection range of the Alaska, and as you can see in the bottom right corner, our torpedoes are reloaded. It's time for the Russian YOLO. Unfortunately for him, his guns are not even pointed in this direction, so we're just going to take our time. We're really going to make sure we send our torpedoes right, because if we mess them up, we are dead. Fire some AP just to make sure everything works with him, and that's an Alaska. Absolutely ripped a new one. Now, we did take some pretty darn nasty fire from the Conqueror, and that's not good. We're going to fire some AP into his superstructure as the Conqueror HE. Oh god, hold on. It's Shimikaze. Let's swap there. Switch targets immediately. It's something that happens when I run this build. DDs, you don't really hunt DDs, you let DDs come to you. They think you're low health, they try and kill you, and then they notice that they can't win a gunfight against you, and then before they notice that, it's kind of too late. So Shimikaze is paying a pretty darn hefty price for trying to gun us down, trying to think maybe he saw the opening. We're just going to keep peppering him in the smoke. Maybe we'll get a hit on him, maybe not, but it's always worth trying a couple times because we're no harm to us at all. It's not like he's going to torpedo us when we go over 38 knots, maybe more with the speed boost. We did lose half our health to the Conqueror. As I said, Conqueror does hurt, and we definitely need to do something about those Conquerors if we want to reliably win. We've actually become that case of winning harder, where we've actually evening up on ships. We're just still one behind, one extra, and we have all the caps. At this point, it's going to be pretty darn amazingly hard to throw this game, and all we've got left is 2 nearly full health Conquerors and Shimikaze. Now, Shimikaze, unfortunately for him, has decided to leave the smoke way too early, and at this point, there's no way in hell that he's going to manage to run away from Khabaovsk, who's also faster than him, and simply is bow tanking him, not taking any real damage. Even if he switches to AP, he's going to bounce harmlessly, and that is definitely going to be a dead Shimakaze. Very brave, quickly bring in the rear turrets, and one more for the front turrets, and he's out of there. That space camo looked pretty nice when it was being exploded. Fortunately for the Shimakaze, not only did he give us a nice juicy kill, he gave us a little bit of a smoke screen as well to use on the Conqueror. We do outrun it though, and we're going to pop the speed boost to get a little bit closer because the Conqueror is on edge of our range. And we're just going to go to fire, fire, fire. We're just going to go absolutely murder these things with the HE. And then once we set fires, we're definitely going to switch to AP, because AP on the Khabaovsk is nothing to laugh at. It's actually incredibly good. The only reason I've got the HE on at the minute is to set those perma damage, those perma ticks over time, that I can just set the fires, then run away, and not have to worry about dodging too many shells. One good hit from the Conquerors, and I could potentially be out of there. So I want to let those fires tick, and I want to get back in the fight as soon as possible. I do invest in rudder mod here, but unfortunately I wish I slowed down then sped up maybe. That could have been the better way of doing it, but I'm not really in any rush to get in too many fights. Again, this is a winnable game. There's no harm in what I'm doing right now. I just want to win the game and get a little bit of damage. So this is basically a damage farm at this point. We've also got 4 kills, so I'm really looking for that Kraken maybe. But we'll see if we get there in time. Unfortunately, realistically we're going to cap out on points before we even get a kill on these Conquerors. They just have so much health. Unless I get the Suicide Torp range, it's just not going to be worth it. So we pick up the Confederate, burning this pure Conqueror to death. We switch to AP because we just really want to get that damage in. We're in a limited time. We definitely need to get that consistent damage in. We slow down for the Conqueror shells and we dodge them harmlessly. Adjusting your speed as well as turning is really a good way of dodging shells. Other Conqueror is even closer and it's giving an even flatter broadside, so we're definitely going to take advantage of that. We're going to see what we can do, just try and switch between targets as much as possible and really really spread our damage out and try and get as much as we can at the minute. Because this damage is pretty darn nice to build. We could keep the AP on here. I think I just kept one of those fires for a little bit more. I really should be switching to AP retrospect, but it doesn't really matter too much, does it? We dodged the shells without much problem. He's on double fire now. Definitely switch to AP. Come on, Monk. Ah, god damn, I'm a potatoed there. I kept the AP on, AG on. Could have switched to AP and got some more damage in. We do take a nasty shot, and we're going to repair that. We're getting close for that Suicide Torp range. Even if we die, it's not going to make the difference. Fortunately for me, they are contesting the cap, so we do have time for a little bit more damage. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get much in. We've won 4 kills, by the way, on 186k. I don't think we're going to get the Kraken, unfortunately, unless we YOLO torp this guy, maybe, because even if we go down, it's still going to give us maybe a flesh wound as well. So just padding these stats even more. No. Unfortunately, though, it does reach 1,000 points pretty darn quick. We reached 190k damage, and yeah, pretty darn crazy game. I feel this could be a record breaker again if we had a bit more time, and maybe 5 kills, maybe 6, but I'm just going to realistically just say 5 kills if we had like 5 more minutes of the game left. 4,098 base XP, high caliber, devastating strike, and a Confederate with over 190,000 damage. So pretty darn impressive game. I thought so myself at least. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and comment, give me some feedback on what ships you want covered, stuff like that. Everything, all this interaction helps my channel immensely. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.